2019 was an absolutely amazing year for anime, particularly for me, winter 2019. That season was absolutely amazing. We saw like so many good series, we got plenty of best girls. So in today's video I'll be listing my top 10 anime of 2019. Before I get into the list, I just want to say if you're interested in more anime fact videos, anime content like this in general, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a video. So this list is not going to be in any particular order, I'm just doing it in order of release. And you know what, there was so many good series this year, so I may have missed some on this list, but let me know what your favourites were in the comment section below. So with that being said, let's start with what winter 2019 had to offer. Before we jump into this video, I'm just going to say that this list is of brand new animes. We've had loads of awesome like continuations of series like My Hero Academia, Food Wars, Sword Art's got its sequels, Data Lives. We had more Kurumi this year, and I really wanted to put that in there, but I just wanted to stick to the new series only. So let's jump in to our first spot, number 1. Peace. So we're starting, of course, with, for me, the biggest and the best series of 2019, which was The Rising of the Shield Hero. This series was just absolutely insane, and like from the absolute get-go. The first episode was like 45 minutes, and we got to meet our main protagonist, Naofumi Iwatani. And it started off as your typical kind of like isekai, like anime. He was transported to another world and he was going through his leveling up process and stuff, but something was always slightly off, you know? What made this series amazing was the absolute dark side of it and the betrayal that Naofumi went through. For me, as soon as I saw that first episode, I was just like, what is this? This is absolutely amazing. Like, I had to re-watch that first episode, I had to grab my brother and I'm like, dude, you need to see this series. Check this out. I'm not going to say anything, but just watch this. And oh my god, it was absolutely insane. Naofumi as a character overall was absolutely fantastic. When you look at main protagonists, he was just, it wasn't like amazing or anything like that, but he was just something different, and he had this whole like inner rage behind him that us as viewers also felt. So every time Naofumi was getting kind of like trod on, we felt it. We wanted, I mean, I really wanted to see Naofumi get his own back. And in terms he did, I think in some senses we wanted to see a lot more. Of course we had Don't Loot the Lolly with Roth Talia coming in episode 2, who arguably was, you know, best girl of 2019, or, you know, best girl of, you know, winter. But winter had a lot of best girls in it, and I'll get to them in just a second. Shield Hero for me was just one of these absolutely insane kind of series, and it did a lot for me personally. With Shield Hero, it was the first time that I thought, you know what, I'm going to try and compete with other channels, and I'm going to make videos related to what's coming out now, because usually I'd wait until kind of the end of the series so I didn't spoil myself. But with this, I thought, you know what, I'll jump in and do it, and this series certainly blew my channel up, so I love it for that alone. I'm very excited that season 2 and 3 has been announced for this series, and I'm just really excited to see where it goes. I mean, I know a lot of the manga readers and like novel readers know where this is going, and I've spoiled it myself with some of the content coming, obviously doing these fact videos on the characters, but Shield Hero for me was just an absolutely amazing start to this year, and you know what 2019 had to offer. Next up is The Promised Neverland. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I think it spanned 12 episodes. Obviously we've got a season 2 coming out next year. We followed Emma, Ray and Norman as they were trying to escape from what seemed to be a farm and these weird alien creatures, you know, that they were being farmed for food for. It was just really good. I mean, it was such a tense show that the whole theme of it was quite this kind of darkish kind of, you know, kind of colour palette and whatnot. And it just really, it was just one of those, like, every time the episode finished, you were just like, what? You know, what's coming next? You know, hurry up next week. Am I right? And there's some big twists in this series as well, and there's still some unanswered questions. And obviously the main unanswered question is, what's going to happen next? Last we saw they had made it beyond the wall. Obviously, if you haven't seen the series, I'm going to try not to spoil it as much. But it was just absolutely amazing. I'm thoroughly looking forward to season 2 of The Promised Neverland. If you haven't checked it out already, then do that now. Next up was the kind of light-hearted show of the season, which was Kaguya The Summer, Love is War. This series was it was kind of like a light-hearted bit of comedy, and it was just such a joy to watch. So we followed our main protagonists, Kaguya and Shirogane. These two had fallen in love with each other, but they were both like really smart, and they felt like admitting to the other one would be a loss, because they were two very strong like personalities. So it was kind of like back and forth games to try and get the other one to confess to them while wanting to confess themselves, and it was just really fun, really well thought out, and it was just every week was just like laugh after laugh. 2 more things to mention on Kaguya The Summer. What I loved, I should probably say, is Chika, arguably again a contender for Best Girl of 2019, and for that season, of course. She was awesome. She was the kind of like light-hearted relief between some of the tenser moments, and acted as quite a ladder or a bridge between the two, and she was just fantastic, and voiced very well, may I add. But on the topic of voices, one of my favourite voice jobs in that series was the narrator himself. He had the deep AF Japanese voice, and it just really like made everything like so much like it's like intense, I guess, but in a really fun way, which was true to that series' theme. Number 4, and this is the last one I'm choosing from winter 2019, was the Quintessential Quintuplets. This series was again another light-hearted one, but one that kind of almost tugged at the heartstrings as well. So we had the 5 beautiful Nakano quintuplets. Once again, a strong contender for waifu or best girl of the year in Miku Nakano. She was very insanely popular, and I can see why. She was cute. But yeah, this was really cool series. Obviously we had Futuro, I think it was Futuro, as our main guy who was tutoring these 5 rejects into like passing, and obviously each of the girls had different opinions on him, and each of the girls also had their kind of like true feelings, may I say, or obviously for people reading the manga and the light novel, they already know who he's going to end up with, but I've got my own speculations which I won't say in this video. Season 2 has been announced for winter of 2020, so we're going to get to see more of Futuro and the girls. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just such a really cool series, really well portrayed, and I really, in terms of like the videos I did on it as well, I just really could not leave it out of my top 10 anime of 2019. Moving on to spring of 2019, and for me, arguably, if Shield Hero wasn't a thing, this would have been the best anime of 2019. You all know where I'm going with this one. Demon Slayer. Whew! Damn, Demon Slayer! That was an amazing series. When I first saw like the PVs for it and stuff, I was just like, this looks awesome. It looks cool. But from the very first episode, it just kind of like it catches you. I love the way it's animated. I love the whole theme of the series as a whole, and it was just so cool. I mean, then we've got Nezuko as well. Once again, another arguably best girl of 2019. But yeah, it was just so awesome. And I feel like I said, if it wasn't for Shield Hero, this would definitely have been one of the best anime. Well, it would have been the best anime of 2019. And of course, other series of this year that should have been higher in regards, unfortunately suffered because of how good Demon Slayer was, which I will get to them in just a bit. But it was just very beautifully done. I loved the whole, particularly episode 19. And for anyone that's watched Demon Slayer, the absolute beauty of that episode, the way that was animated, the music, the way the story had led up to that point, everything was just done spot on, and it was just that for me is like one of the main things that made this anime stand out. It had a fantastic cast of characters. It was voiced well by both sub and dub, and like I said already, the soundtrack to this thing was amazing. It had this really kind of like serious, heartwarming kind of story. There was an obvious end goal, but it also had comedy in there as well that wasn't overdone. It wasn't kind of overshadowing the seriousness of what was going on, but it kind of broke it up in a nice light-hearted way, and some of the characters were just more beautifully portrayed, let's say, because of this comedy. Obviously we've got a movie coming out for Demon Slayer next year, and then I certainly hope they're going to continue with it, because public demand, my friend. Public demand on this series. Demon Slayer, hat off to Demon Slayer, was awesome. Coming in at number 6, and my second and final entry from spring 2019, was a show that was just so heartwarming, and I just absolutely fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. But The Helpful Fox, Senko-san. This series was just such a cute series, am I right? I mean, like, Senko is adorable. I just love the concept of this. It was nice, because you go from like Demon Slayer, which could be quite intense at times, and then you just fall back on Senko-san and just sit back, relax and chill, and it was just really, really nice. I love the OP and like the ending theme to this series as well. It's so cute. And I think Senko as a whole, you know, obviously we had the big raccoon girl in Raftalia. It was nice to have a fox girl, and you know, of course we would end up to have more fox girls throughout this year, but she was just so cute, and I loved her that much. I got her on a little pillow there. It's just awesome. If I ever felt like the day had been long, edits were long, or anything, Senko-san was just something I'd look forward to sitting down and watching. Surprised I didn't do any videos on that series, actually. I'm not sure why. But it was awesome. Once again, you know, subbed and dubbed very well by both sets of voice actors, and it was just such a cute series. It was amazing. Definitely a series that I will go back and rewatch, because I doubt there's going to be like a season 2 of it. But if you are in need of a series that's just nice and easy to watch, heartwarming, and just general kawaii, then obviously go for The Helpful Fox, Senko-san. Moving on to summer of 2019, and this next series should have got a lot more praise than it deserved. Like I mentioned earlier, Demon Slayer had kind of put other series on the back burner a little bit because of how popular and amazing it was, considering that spanned over 24 episodes. The series I'm talking about in this case, you've guessed it, Dr. Stone. My god, what a good series Dr. Stone has been. It's still ongoing as I'm recording this video. It was a series, I won't lie to you, when I saw the PV, I read upon it and stuff, and I was like, it sounds like it's alright, because obviously this came out as like one of the big anime of this season, and I was like, it sounds alright. I mean, science and like the concept of the story of, you know, the whole world getting turned to stone and sent back to like the prehistoric times. I mean, like, I should be excited about it, but I wasn't really. Sat down and watched that first episode, and I was like, man, that is awesome. That is so good. And like week in, week out, it's consistently got better, and it's just awesome. And like, science is fun, right? I'm sure we've all learnt some sciencey bits and bobs from Senku. Talking of Senku, fantastic protagonist. They've done really well with him. I remember when I first saw him with his like spring onion like hair and his get-up and stuff, and I was like, yeah, will I connect with this guy? Hell yeah. They've done that very well. In terms of comparing it to like Demon Slayer, obviously it's got a serious side to it, but it's definitely got a lot more of a comedy aspect to it than Demon Slayer, but it just works so perfectly for Dr. Stone. I think they've nailed that together. Obviously, as the series has gone on, it's got a bit more emotion as we've gone on, but it's just fantastic. For me, a show is really good when you connect with these characters, and I can think of at least 3 characters from Dr. Stone where I've had moments thinking like, yeah, I've connected with you as a character, and you know, for me that kind of boosts the experience as a whole. I think that's what Shield Hero and Demon Slayer did so good this year, and I think Dr. Stone just as well did such a fantastic job of that. It's just unfortunately Demon Slayer was just its own beast that kept it lower on the list, but for me Dr. Stone is probably up there with Demon Slayer. I said it. Our next entry at number 8 was potentially the other big series of the summer, which was Fire Force. And again, another series that I was kind of like, it's a show about firefighters, so I mean, I'll check it out, but I'm not 100% sure. The main thing that sold it to me was that it was made by the guys that made Soul Eater, and I'm sure me, like many of you, are massive fans of the Soul Eater series. So I was like, okay, that's going for it. And yeah, it was totally different from what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. I thought it was when I read up on it and saw the PV, I was like, okay, they're firefighters. But then I forgot it's been like Japanized. Japan got their hands on it, of course, so obviously these firefighters all have their own powers and stuff, and it's just absolutely amazing. One thing I didn't take into in my head was the fact that obviously like combat was a thing, so these guys have got like fire powers and stuff, and I think the first like couple of combat scenes, the sound effects on them as well, absolutely like nailed it. I was just like, damn, alright, now we've got a series on our hands. I mean, for me personally, I thought Dr. Stone was the better of the two, but Fire Force, amazing. It started really well, I felt like it dipped a bit, and then it's gone back up again, so I ranked that one lower than I did Dr. Stone, but it's just awesome. And of course can't forget like Tamaki, right, because arguably another best girl of 2019, maybe more so for a title. Was it the cat girl thing? I don't know, what did you like about Tamaki? Let me know in the comments below. Right, moving on to obviously fall of 2019. There was a lot of good series, and I struggled picking two because I only had two slots left. But the first one I went for was Orisuki, Are You the Only One That Loves Me? Because I thought, for me personally, it was another series that I was particularly looking forward to every week, more so than others, though there was some really good shows this season. I just loved the whole comedy aspect, and I loved Joro's character in terms of his split personality, and the bench in there, right? Oh my god, the bench. It's such a like a classic little thing that they've added in there. It's become a big joke. Obviously I made a video on the bench, which was just insane in itself. But really good cast of characters again. You've got like loads of lovable ones. Sumireku, Pansy, arguably another best girl of 2019. Maybe I should have made a best girls of 2019 list. Who knows? Let me know if you want that in the comment section below, and I'll certainly get down to it. I'll bring you the girls. But yeah, like it's just done so well. It's heavily focused on the comedy, and one of the things I love the most is actually Joro's relationship with his best friend Sunchan. There was an episode where they all went to the where did they go? What do you call it? They went to, I'm doing some like Abe's Odyssey thing here. I can't remember the swimming pool. Yeah, they went to like the swimming pool or swimming baths or whatever it's called. It was a swimsuit episode basically. I mean, I appreciated it for the swimsuit episode, but there was just so many good moments between Joro and Sunchan in that episode that I felt sorry for Jen, my girlfriend. She was kind of asleep on me, but I was laughing and kept waking her up because there was just so many good moments. Again, I don't think that's going to get another series, but I've thoroughly enjoyed what it had to offer, so I put that on my list as the best of this year. So check it out if you haven't, it's awesome. Final entry for my favourite anime of 2019, and this is kind of based off of, I was trying to struggle because there was about 3 series I had written down. I was like, which one? And I thought, well, the one that's done best for me and my channel, I've thoroughly enjoyed it, is Azalane, right? Boat waifus. The boat hero. Which is awesome. This series was just awesome. Obviously the mobile game I'm sure loads of us had heard of already, or probably not played but knew of it, and it was getting its anime adaptation, and they nailed it for me personally. I think they did really good. I love the combat scenes in there. There's a lot of characters from the game, and I think they've brought them in to the series really well. For me, Prince Eugen's my favourite. I like her. Who's your favourite boat? Let me know. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of us have started playing the game based off of the anime, and obviously it's, the last couple of episodes are delayed a bit till next year, I believe, so we're going to have to wait to see what happens there. Whether that will get another series or not, who knows? As far as I know, I think it was popular enough to get one, and I'm sure they've got more than enough content to go off to make a second series, but it was just done really well. And I liked all the characters. Obviously you had all your little lolly boats that were cute, and they had their little stories going on. Then you had the more mature ships, which were Noise. Yeah, first Noise. How many minutes in are we? And we've just got a Noise. But yeah, just doing really well. Of course, we've got the 2 more Fox girls, Akagi and, Kaga. They were cool. following the Fox trend that I mentioned earlier with Senko. But again, just a really, really, you know, well done series. OP was strong for this one. I did like the OP, and I do hope that they make some more Azalane, you know, like episodes or series, because I've really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. Before I sign off the video though, I do want to like hit some honourable mentions. There were so many shows to choose from. And I struggle. I've got a list down here, so I'm looking at the list, and some of them I'm just like, how did I not put them on there? How did I not put them on there? But some honourable mentions for me were Domestic Girlfriend. I thoroughly enjoyed that series. Great storyline. Of course, We Never Learn. That had 2 series. It came out in spring, and then it got a second series in fall. So that's amazing in itself. And that was just another like kind of. It was similar to Orisuke, I guess, but in its own way. It was just really awesome. I did really enjoy that series. Wataten was another one from winter, which was just a really light-hearted show, and the OP to that has been stuck in my head all year. I was actually going to use it as music for my like outro, but I didn't in the end. We also had Isekai Quartet, which was awesome. Big mashup, you know, with ReZero, Konosuba, Overlord, Saga of Tanya the Evil. Next season, they are introducing, you know, Naofumi, Philo and Raphtalia from Shield Heroes. That's going to be fantastic. Thoroughly looking forward to that. From this season, we had Cautious Hero. That was awesome. Like, OP is very strong on that. I just love the story overall, and I love how dark it's going to get, because it's really like light-hearted comedy at the moment. So that's going to be fantastic. And last one, Assassin's Pride. Very much been enjoying that one, but unfortunately just didn't make my list this time. But there we go. They were my top 10 anime of 2019 with some honourable mentions. I hope you enjoyed the list. Of course, let me know what you think of my list, or let me know, you know, what were your favourite shows of 2019. Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be interested in checking them out. If you'd like to see more anime content like this one, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe for more anime content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!